Hi there, I'm attorney Judah Zakalik, one of the partners here at PandA Law Firm. I'm excited to get into a topic that affects us all, credit scores. Before we jump into how to rebuild your credit after a slip, let me take a moment to introduce myself and my law firm. For the past 15 years, all of us at PandA Law have been dedicating ourselves to helping people navigate the financial challenges and achieve a fresh start. Whether it's through debt settlement, bankruptcy, or other legal solutions, our team is committed to providing compassionate and expert guidance to our clients. And I'm thrilled to share some valuable insights with you today. We'll get to rebuilding after a credit slip in just a moment, but before we do, it's important to dispel some common myths about credit scores. Myth number 1, credit score equals self-worth. While it seems credit scores are end-all, be-all measures of a person's worth, they are not. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. There's absolutely nothing about a credit score that describes your value as a person in real life. It might be surprising to hear, but there are thousands of people out there who have great credit scores and who are untrustworthy jerks you wouldn't want looking after your goldfish. And there are even more people that have mid to low credit scores that are kind, gentle people welcomed by society. The truth is, we don't talk about credit or credit scores with each other often enough, and we have no idea what even our closest family members may be going through financially. Americans, especially middle-income Americans, think that having debt is some great shameful thing and will only be made worse if you talk about it. Debt might even be the last remaining taboo stigma in our country. It doesn't have to be. There's no shame in having debt, even if you have debt that you can't handle on your own. To be honest, the American system is sort of designed to trap the middle and lower classes in a debt cycle, and just about half of all Americans let their credit card balances roll over month to month, paying minimum or near minimum payments. It's not surprising, 78% of us live paycheck to paycheck. So you tell me, if half of Americans carry debt and 3/4 are teetering on financial trouble, should you feel bad about asking for help? Or is it time to say shame on the system that put us all here in the first place? Myth number 2, perfect payment history equals perfect score. Another misconception about credit scores is the belief that a perfect payment history guarantees a flawless credit score. While timely payments are undeniably important, they're not the only factor that influences your credit score. In reality, credit scoring models consider a variety of factors when calculating your score. One significant factor is your credit utilization ratio, which refers to the percentage of your available credit that you're currently using. In other words, if you've never missed a payment in your life, carrying high balances on your credit cards can lower your score dramatically to 670 or even lower, depending on the balances. This is largely because lenders view individuals who consistently carry high balances as higher risk borrowers, as it suggests a reliance on credit to meet everyday expenses. In other words, living paycheck to paycheck like 78% of Americans already do. Additionally, the length of your credit history, the ages, and the types of credit accounts you have also play a role in determining your score. A longer credit history and a diverse mix of credit accounts, such as credit cards, installment loans, mortgages, can positively impact your score, but even opening one new account, say to get a 5% discount or take advantage of a 12-month special financing plan at Best Buy, can drop your score 10 to 50 points the minute it's reported. Especially if the financing plan also means you're now carrying a balance, even if that balance has 0% interest. Fair? Maybe not, but them's the maths. Myth number 3, credit score is static. Contrary to popular belief, your credit score is not a static number set in stone. Many people mistakenly assume that once their credit score is established, it remains unchanged indefinitely. However, as partially noted above, credit scores are dynamic and can fluctuate over time based upon various factors. Factors such as payment history, credit utilization, length of credit history, new credit inquiries, new accounts being opened, and the types of credit accounts you have all influence your credit score. For example, consistently making on-time payments and keeping credit card balances low can lead to an increase in your score, while missing payments or maxing out your credit cards can cause it to drop. You don't have to stress monitor your credit regularly, but everyone should understand the factors I just mentioned that impact your score, and check your credit reports annually to ensure their accuracy and stability. As an FYI, we'll have another video on how to check and correct your credit reports coming in the next few months. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Myth number 4, you only have one credit score. Did you know that everyone has dozens of credit scores? Experian and Equifax have 16 FICO scores. TransUnion has 21, and that's just FICO. There are also Vantage scores, like Credit Karma uses, and different versions of these FICO and Vantage scores. Vantage 3.0 was released in 2023, for example. Some scores are used specifically for buying cars, some are for houses, and obviously there are several used for credit cards. The point is, there isn't just one score, and without a ton of research or applying directly, there's no way to know which score or scores a lender is going to use. What's important are your credit reports themselves. Making sure they're accurate means that any scoring model using them will be accurate too. Myth number 5, credit score for buying nice things. Contrary to popular belief, your credit score isn't just for buying nice things. The banks will tell you it is. They even run commercials that with a better credit score, you can afford a better apartment. Not true at all. You can have an 850 FICO credit score, the best there is, 0 revolving debt to your name, and still not earn enough monthly to afford a nice apartment in some cities. The reality is that to a person, your credit score exists for one reason and one reason only: to save you money when you make a large purchase that is typically financed. For example, a house or a car. In other words, the higher score, the lower your interest rate when you buy a house or a car. On a house, the difference between a 700 and 750 credit score can mean paying tens of thousands of dollars per year in additional interest. Sure, banks have a different reason for your credit score: to estimate the likelihood you'll pay your debt back and then charge you as much interest as they can possibly get away with. But for you, your credit score exists to save you money, period. Why stress over scores? Given the perceived significant impact of your credit score on our financial lives, and that banks run commercials about how your life is garbage, or even that you're garbage if you don't have great credit, it's natural to want to stress over your score. But should we? Probably not. Most of us don't buy a house or a car every year, so why obsess over your credit scores? Make sure your credit reports are correct and up to date, sure. Maybe set up an alert to let you know if anything's changed on them. But stressing out over a number is something we don't really need to do. As I mentioned a moment ago, your credit score exists to save you money when you finance a large purchase, but credit scores are only one factor in determining rates. Here's a surprise. Even with a 720 score, if you're paying interest on credit cards, the bank might raise your rates because they say you have a large debt-to-income ratio, making you a risk that isn't reflected in your score. More importantly though, if you're paying a ton of interest on your credit cards just because you don't want your score to go down, isn't your credit score actually costing you money? Again, this is a topic for another video, but quickly, if you have a $20,000 balance on a credit card that has a 25% interest rate, you're paying $6,250 a year, or about $530 a month just in interest. That's tax-free money that belongs in your pocket. Imagine what you could do if you had an extra $500 cash in your pocket every month. Again, if you're carrying debt, you need to really take a look at how much it's costing you to keep that score up, even though that score might not be of any significance right now. A good rule of thumb is that if you can't get yourself out of debt completely in 6 to 18 months, it's time to talk to an attorney and discuss your options to get out of debt. Heck, even if your attorney recommends going nuclear and filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy for you, Chapter 7 is the one that wipes out all the debt, that can qualify you for a decent home purchase in about 2 years. Rebuilding after a slip. Now let's get back to the main topic, rebuilding after a slip. First, if you have a good lawyer helping you get out of debt, whether it's via debt settlement or bankruptcy, that lawyer should help you rebuild. Yes, whether you call PandA to help or not, we always recommend hiring an experienced lawyer to help you with debt relief. Identifying the slip. Did you actually slip? It's a little known fact that generally speaking, until your payment is 30 or more days late, the payment isn't really reported as late. In other words, on your credit report, you're either on time or 30 plus days late, 60 plus, 90 plus, so on. So if being late is going to be a one-time thing rectified quickly, there's little reason to panic about the impact to your scores or reports. Please note, I'm absolutely not saying it's okay to be late. Depending on your specific credit contract, a payment that's even 1 day late might trigger a late payment fee, higher interest rates, or other adverse actions from your creditor. But your payment should still be reported on time to the bureaus, so the score dropping should be the least of your worries. Slip, warning, or fall. Evaluate whether it was just a slip, a warning sign, or the start of a downward spiral. If it was a slip, then as soon as that slip is corrected, your credit score will start healing itself. Depending on the health of the rest of your report, it may not even cause a massive impact, though it will be reported for 7 years. The point is, in order for credit scores to rebound, the negatives must be resolved. When you slip, you need to ask yourself, is this the start of something worse? Missing one payment by even 1 day might be a warning that there will be more missed payments in the future. If the writing's on the wall, or if you're deep in the middle of a slide, seek out a lawyer and get help as soon as possible. Remember, the sooner you get the help, the sooner you'll be able to start rebuilding. As I mentioned a moment ago, most Chapter 7 bankruptcy clients are completely out of debt 90 days after their case is filed, having a 680 credit score 6 to 12 months after that, and have a 700 plus in about 2 years. Rebuilding after a slip less than filing bankruptcy doesn't take too long either, but the slip must be resolved first, either by paying off the debt, settling it, discharging it in bankruptcy, or at the very minimum, catching up on your payments. By the way, we'll be doing a deeper bankruptcy myths video soon, so be on the lookout. In conclusion, rebuilding your credit after a slip takes time, effort, and patience, but most people are well recovered from even the worst slips in about 2 years. I get it, setbacks can be discouraging, but they're not the end of the world. With the right strategies and guidance, you can overcome past mistakes and lay the foundation for a brighter financial future. Remember, seeking help from a knowledgeable attorney like those at PandA Law Firm can provide invaluable support and guidance throughout the process. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights. Thanks for watching. I'm attorney Judah Zakalik, partner at PandA Law Firm, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.